My name's Jagger, and with my wife Pauline, we've been members of the church for nearly 50 years. When I was a child, my mother used to take me to church, and that happened probably from when I was about 8 even. And I found that a rather dry and heartless experience, and therefore by the time I was a young teenager, I had decided already that I didn't believe that Christianity was for me. When I was in my early 20s, this was around about 1968, Pauline and I were invited to a meal with Di and Keith, our friends now, but who we'd only known for a very short time then. And they very kindly provided us with quite an exciting meal, paella, which is one of Di's favourites, a bit of a cool dish at the time. And we had a lovely evening and spoke a lot about everything under the sun, but other than Christianity. By the time we'd finished the meal, it turned out that some other people were going to be turning up, and those people were coming to a Bible study, which was something that I wouldn't have voluntarily been involved in, but it was something that I couldn't really avoid, because much as I'd squirmed inside, I wouldn't actually show that I didn't want to be involved. Though I was willing to stay on for the Bible study, I was secretly thinking, oh dear, these people are Christians, and they must be deluded. So, well, anyway, I think perhaps I can put them back on the right track and convince them that they're not thinking about the things as they really are. They were very loving towards me, and I didn't actually have the courage to try and talk them out of anything. I was just very interested, actually, to listen to the things that they were learning together. After the meal together, and as our friendship began to develop over some time with our new friends, we found that they were kind to us, not because they had any hidden agenda, but because they genuinely loved us. And they were able to share with us in a way that wasn't pressurized in any way, the things that they believed, which began to influence the way that I thought about things. And also, of course, we didn't know at the time, but what was also very effective was that they'd been praying for us even before we even had the meal. Shortly after Pauline and I were married, it was becoming difficult for me to adjust to living with another person and how much marriage brings out to the surface one's imperfections, and I certainly had plenty of those. It was so difficult for me because I hadn't believed, and I was struggling with my, in a way, philosophy about life. And I was desperate. One evening, Pauline had gone to bed, and I was sitting in the rocking chair that we still have to this day, and cried out to the Lord, what is it, God? What is it about this Jesus that's relevant to me, that could be relevant to me today? And he revealed to me the truth that Jesus is Lord, and I was able to believe at that moment and receive my salvation. Looking back, I realised how fundamental that first meal with Di and Keith was in drawing us towards the Lord. Perhaps there was no other way, although it was very simple. They were able to show their kindness to us and the love in their hearts for us, and that's what drew us towards God.